Zimbabwe is host to at least 40 minerals including precious metals, base metals, industrial metals and gemstones. 34 coal fields with an estimated 12 billion tons are located in the Zambezi and Limpopo basins. As for potentially recoverable coal bed methane gas, Zimbabwe has an estimated 40 trillion cubic feet. Despite this, lack of focus, among other reasons, has seen the country failing to fully exploit these God-given endowments for the good of its citizens. The birth of the Second Republic on November 24, 2017, however, marked the dawn of a new era in Zimbabwe. Barely a year after assuming office, the President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, introduced Vision 2030, a homegrown blueprint which seeks to transform Zimbabwe into an upper-middle income economy. On the global front, the new government introduced a new culture of engagement and re-engagement with the international community as opposed to the old tradition of megaphone diplomacy. In April 2018, the president thus took his diplomatic offensive to China, where he met his Chinese counterpart President Xi Jinping, chiefly with the view of deepening economic relations. Mutually benefiting deals were reached in various sectors including mining, infrastructure and transport. Indeed, the president's visit was not in vain. He returned home with a bag full of investment deals which are currently bearing fruit.
We had most of the possible investments from China over the period had been held back because the country, Zimbabwe, was going through very difficult financial challenges and was unable to meet some of its obligations towards China. But when I met President Xi Jinping in April 2018, he did three things. One, from a political perspective, he allowed the 7 and 8 units at Zesa, at HWANGE, to proceed. And China would provide 1.3 billion. And that is in progress.
As the Second Republic's economic revival drive gained impetus, on October 14, 2019, the President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, launched the historic $12 billion mining industry strategic roadmap. The $12 billion mining industry is set to be achieved by 2023, with a projection that the mining sector will generate more than $20 billion by 2030. So far, so good. The initiatives of the Second Republic have yielded positive results, with 9 coal and coking companies, including foreign investors, operating in Matabeleland North Province. Recently, the President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, embarked on a 2-day visit to Matabeleland North to familiarize with the coal mining projects taking place in HWANGE. Day 1. The President toured 4 projects, and his first port of call was Western Coal Project, which is said to produce thermal, industrial and coking coal for local sales and exports. The domestic component of the produce will augment coal supply for national requirements, while exports will boost the country's foreign currency inflows. President Mnangagwa led the groundbreaking ceremony at Western areas before delivering his key message.
There are 2 major areas of resources which God gave us, and these 2 can change the economy of our country. The one is agriculture. First and foremost, we need to produce our own food and feed ourselves. Food security. And our program relating to achieving food security is now on course, and we have put up a package to support that vision, and we believe that within 2 to 3 seasons we should achieve food sufficiency or food security in Zimbabwe. We do not need to import any food at all in Zimbabwe. The second resource which we have is the mining sector. The mining sector is demonstrated here by the Minister of Mines, Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. At the end of that process, we will have adequate energy, electricity for our country to drive our industry. Currently, we have been importing, we have a deficit in the generation of power, and yet we have the resources to generate that power. We have set ourselves a roadmap to achieve self-sufficiency and possibly surplus as we walk the road we have set for ourselves.
The Western Area's investment has already created employment for the local communities.
The initial phase of the project will create over 200 jobs and increasing to about 1,000 jobs as we complete the project. So there are 2 phases in the coal mining project at Western Coal. The first phase focuses on mining and production of high-grade coal. The mine design process plant allows initially for 150,000 tons of monthly coal production, which is nearly 2 million tons a year.
The investment is important to the industrial revival initiative being spearheaded by the government, says Mines and Mining Development Minister Honorable Winston Chitando.
We have Zimchem in Kwekwe. Zimchem in Kwekwe was established on the basis of feed from the Zisco Coke Works and also from the Hwange Hwange Colliery, coke batteries. Now, with the huge expansion in the coke capacity, Zimchem will have more than enough feed. Therefore, Zimchem B entails the establishment of a Zimchem equivalent here in Hwange. And we are working together with the coke producers to do that. So we will have another Zimchem B here. So the byproducts being produced are creating another industry, which is Zimchem A and Zimchem B.
The presidential entourage proceeded to Chaba Mine, owned by Hwange Colliery Company. The work at Chaba Mine is evidence of the Second Republic's initiatives to revive operations at the country's oldest coal mining firm.
I'm very proud that this young man has done it, and his team, and your team. Because if your team was not cooperating, you couldn't make what you're making now. I say so because as he was showing me what they're doing, he was able to tell me the area that will supply coal for July, the area that will supply coal for August, the area for September up to December. It's very rare that you have that foresight and that calculation and that preparedness. Very good, congratulations. It was a disgrace for this country, for Zimbabwe or Hwange to import coal from neighboring countries when we have abundant coal in this country. This pit alone, I'm told by management, that it would last 8 years. But there are several other sites unexploited. But because of our lack of planning or mere sabotage, you find that HWANGE Colliery Company had reached a stage where it was not able to support itself in the midst of plenty. Kuwana munoona kutenga mvura yamire muna Save, unotenga mvura kune imwe nyika. Zvinosodesa. But I'm proud that the program we have instituted is being implemented.
Meaningful social corporate responsibility is what the president urged mining companies to embrace.
I also implore that as you expand, employment is now being created. When this had collapsed, the young people in this area had no employment. Now with this development and the expansion which you have told me, it also means that the local communities are going to have employment. But like other companies, you don't only give employment, assist the communities around to have better schools, better clinics, better roads, clean water. These are resources at their disposal in their areas. They must see benefits from the exploitation of the resources in the area.
The story of Shijan is a classic example of a successful venture between foreign and local investors. As such, the president had the opportunity to familiarize with the firm's coking coal mining project, which commenced this year. South Mining Company is a foreign-owned firm which commenced operations in 2007. Now is the time for all Zimbabweans to embrace the new normal of walking the talk in order to achieve the aspirations of Vision 2030, said the president.
There's a roadmap which we have to follow in order to achieve the 12 billion mining sector by 2023. But it is one thing to have a vision. It is quite another to walk the roadmap to achieve that vision. To do so, you need stakeholders who are committed to the concept. You need stakeholders who stay on course.
He highlighted the requisite key enablers for Vision 2030 to be realized.
We need an environment where that vision can flourish. So initially, you need a stable, united, harmonious country. You need an environment where other subsectors of the economy are also contributing towards that vision. Those in government, in the public sector, we need those in the private sector, we need the communities around where these companies operate, all to pull in one direction. To pull in unison. Our desire is to achieve higher middle income by 2030. However, that will not be achieved by the mining sector alone. Other subsectors of the economy have their role to play.
South Mining Company Managing Director Lee Shenji Lee thanked the government for enacting the right legal framework for the mining industry.
As we are celebrating the opening of our second plant, I would also like to thank the government of Zimbabwe for all the support since we started our operation up to this present day, as well as the Ministry of Mines and Honorable Minister Winston Chitando, who have been giving us unwavering support in our business ventures. They have guided us and assisted in making this project a success. The call and the vision of a $12 million incentive has given us tremendous confidence. South Mining was found in Hwange. It is growing up in Hwange. It is part of Hwange. Our operation in Hwange began in 2007, and for the past 13 years, our endeavors would not have been fruitful if it was not for the love and the support from our traditional leaders and the Hwange community, who has made us a part of their family.
The coke plant is poised to contribute over $30 million United States dollars in exports annually. The presidential delegation started day 2 of the tour at Dinson Colliery. From Dinson Colliery, the president visited the Zimbabwe Shongxing Coking Company, ZZCC. ZZCC is set to produce thermal, industrial and coking coal for local consumption and export market. The presidential delegation also graced Zambezi Gas, a mining firm wholly owned by locals. The coal mining firm means business.
Currently, we are producing 3 coal types. There is thermal coal, there is industrial coal, and there is coking coal. And our major customers, notably, we've got the farmers. Most farmers, Comrade President, for their curing of the tobacco, they get coal from Zambezi Gas and Coal Mine. We also supply the bulk of our products to the power stations, the 4 thermal power stations, here in Hwange, in Bulawayo, at Bunyati, and also in Harare, and we have been very consistent with the President since 2016. We also do, from our operations, we start from exploration. I can confirm with the President that the bulk of our reserve open cast is now fully explored. We now comply to the job standards, Comrade President. We have drilled all the open cast 500 square meter grid, and we now know where is what coal to supply to the industry. Now we've embarked on the underground exploration, which is already in progress.
This is my first visit to Zambezi gas and coal mine. Most importantly, it is an indigenous company. Yes, it has gone through trials and challenges, but I think the future is better than the past. That's what is important. And besides, we now have a government program in the mining sector to support mining, because for our vision to materialize, our vision to become an upper middle income economy or country by 2030, 10 years from now. The major drivers or enablers to achieve that goal: mining, agriculture, these two are fundamental for us as government, the current administration of the Republic of Zimbabwe must drive and support these two sectors of the economy in order to achieve that goal. Why do we prioritize mining and agriculture? Agriculture, there's nothing we import. The land is ours, so we must use it. We are not begging from anybody. It is our land, which we acquired after a bitter armed struggle. We got that land. What is necessary now is for government to empower our people to utilize that land so each hectare continues to produce more and more year by year. But to do so, we must empower those dealing with land in terms of equipment, modernization, mechanization, and skills. And that we are doing. We have a program, so we should have smart agriculture in this country in no time.
The President highlighted the importance of empowering local firms, reiterating government commitment to continue supporting their operations.
The second, the most important resource which we don't need to go outside the country is mining. We can't go and mine in America or in Peru or in Australia to promote Zimbabwe. We must mine our own resources in Zimbabwe. So government must focus and support mining ventures in Zimbabwe. But with Zambezi, it is extremely pleasing that this is one of the domestic indigenous mining companies. If it makes money, hakuna kwavanoendesa. Vanoidya muno, vachingomwa muno. Yes, vakadaro kumonofarana namai, vanomboendavo havo kumwe. Asi vaida kuvakamba yokuvata, vanoivakira muno. Vaida kutenga moti yakanaka, vanoitenga ichifamba muno. Saka mari dzacho dzoramba dziri muno. Saka tinotsigira vanoshanda kuti ufumi nerifa rirambe riri muno muZimbabwe. So Zambezi Gas and Coal, you have the backing of the president, the backing of the government of the day.
The local coal mining firm has been given the green light to set up a 750 megawatt thermal power station, which will see 150 megawatts being fed into the national grid. Makomo Resources is another success story of locally owned mining firms.
This mine, Your Excellency, is playing a very key role in the development of the 12 billion milestone which you set for the industry. It's a major supplier to ZPC, and as of now, it's one of only 2 companies which have been awarded a contract by ZESA to supply into HWANGE 7 and 8 expansion. And it is part of that contract which has enabled them to mobilize funding to, instead of trucking the coal to ZESA, to invest in a conveyor belting system for delivery of coal to ZESA. Makomo also plays a very key role in terms of supplying coking coal to the various coke producers. Just again, to Your Excellency, in terms of the 12 billion milestone which you laid out. Coke production is increasing from 300,000 tons in 2018 to 2.1 million tons in 2027-4.
President Mnangagwa praised the gathering on the initiatives being taken by the government to speed up the HWANGE 7 and 8 thermal power stations expansion project, which has been stalled by the global COVID-19 pandemic. The $1.5 billion project will generate additional 600 megawatts to be fed into the national grid. It is set to create over 7,000 jobs.
Yes, the current constraint is a result of COVID, when some of the engineers, experts went for their Chinese New Year in January and were caught by the pandemic and are detained in China. But a few days ago, I had discussions with the Chinese ambassador, and we came to an understanding where we can now airlift most of the experts who are detained in China as a result of the pandemic to come to Zimbabwe, to various companies to which they are attached. And then they will go through their quarantine at their respective companies. So we believe that HWANGE 7 and 8 again will have the level of expertise and competencies it requires made available. But Makomo, in our scheme of things, there's a significant role to play in that scheme, where we are going to, at the completion of the 7 and 8, 2 plants, we are going to have 600 megawatts. But the input into 7 and 8, Makomo is at the top there to supply.
Come 2025, Zimbabwe will bid farewell to energy imports, said the President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa. Energy imports are currently gobbling several millions of foreign currency yearly.
And by 2025, or just after that, we should be fuel sufficient in this country, because all the resources to produce fuel are in Zimbabwe. We have the coal, we have the gas, we have everything which is required. Now, we must begin to move forward on the basis of the things that are under our control, which we can move at. The pace of the speed is determined by ourselves. Yes, we will need manufacturing for Nzenza, industry and commerce, chambers of commerce, chambers of industry, and ICT, elephants and zebras. We need them. You contribute also with your Zambezi, what do you call it, Masuotunya, yes. But primarily, we cannot force people to come from Yemen to come to Victoria Falls. We cannot force people to come from Haiti to come in Victoria Falls, nor from California, or from Canada. West is still from UK. Can't force them to come to Victoria Falls, although Livingstone is still standing. But we can force production of coal because it is ours. We can force production of food because the land is ours. The only thing is, are we united? Do we have peace in the country? Is the economic environment stable? Are we united as a people? Oh, that's what is required. And all those things are achievable. So, Makomo, in case you do not know it, we in government count on you to support our vision. The challenges you face, please Let's talk about them.
The tour ended at the Chongqing Electric Energy Power Plant, where the president witnessed the signing ceremony of the agreement between the company and the Zimbabwe Mining Development Corporation, ZMDC. Of note is that Chongqing Electric Energy is involved in a phased construction of a thermal power station, with the first 50-megawatt unit set to be complete by October 2020. The full project will see a total of 300 megawatts being added to the national grid. Minister Chitando explained the deal that is informed by the Second Republic's use it or lose it policy.
ZMDC has over the years been sitting on a concession of coal which it has not been utilizing. And in line with your 2030 vision, in line with the 2023 12 billion milestone you set for the mining industry, that coal concession has been divided into two. The first, ZMDC has just signed this joint venture with ZZEE. What will happen in terms of this agreement is this power station is going to be expanded to become a 430 megawatt power station. And the thermal coal from that coal concession will fit into this power station. The coking coal from that concession will fit into the coke works, coke plant, which His Excellency toured this morning. The other coking coal will fit into another coke works to be constructed on site. So this agreement is giving birth to a brand new mine which is going to be opened and which will also house a coke works. It's giving birth to the expansion of this to become a 430 megawatt power plant. That's the journey which His Excellency has set us for Zimbabwe to become a middle-income economy by the year 2030.
The coal mining projects taking place in HWANGE are pivotal in the economic revival drive being pursued by the Second Republic. Talk of foreign import substitution, foreign currency generation, revival of industry, employment creation, infrastructure development, increased power generation for domestic and export markets, to mention only a few. These are the direct benefits already accruing from these projects. Evidence on the ground is testimony enough that Vision 2030 is not an elusive dream, but a reality. Come 2030, Zimbabwe will be an upper-middle income economy. It is therefore incumbent upon all progressive Zimbabweans to rally behind the President's clarion call to remain focused, united, and maintain peace as the nation pursues the Vision 2030 agenda.